Strata carbon-clad cookware is one of the hottest cookware brands on the market at the moment. A group of engineers from Maryland decided to hack a basic carbon steel pan, and they're getting 5-star reviews all day long. But it's just an iron pan after all, so some people are still struggling. If you're one of these people, then I'm here to help you. Today I'm going to discuss the 3 biggest problems with Strata cookware and how to solve them. So almost always, if you reach out to Strata, you'll hear from Katie, who is the lead designer of the pan itself and one of the brains behind the Strata pan company. So I spoke with Katie and we talked in detail about some of the issues that come up with when she's dealing with customers and customer support. And she gave me a bunch of the different scenarios. And I also have combined that with reading comments from people on YouTube. And also I sell Strata here in Canada, and I've sold it to hundreds of customers here in Canada. And I've reached out to those customers and I've gotten feedback from the people that I've sold to. So after compiling everything and looking at all the different responses, what is absolutely crystal clear is that Strata has made an excellent product. There is no problem with the pan itself. So today we're going to be talking about how we, the users, use the pan more effectively. And you could say, oh yeah, for sure, this guy's biased. Of course he's going to say that there's nothing wrong with the pan because he sells pans, as I do. My job is to sell you cookware that is going to last you forever. That's what I intend to do. Is all the cookware that I sell is lifelong cookware. If I sell you something that you're having a problem with, then it's not working for you and I'm not doing my job. So sure, I'm biased. I love Strata and I love all the other brands that I sell, but I choose to sell them. That's my choice, is to sell you the best quality cookware, or to recommend on this channel the best quality cookware for you for longevity. And if I'm selling you something that is a flash in the pan, I'm not doing my job. So to be totally blunt, all of the issues that I'm going to talk about here are cookware and seasoning learning issues. These are things in which people have problems with because they haven't learned how to use their cookware properly yet. So we're going to go over these 3 main problems and the solutions, so fairly simple solutions on how you're going to be successful using Strata and pretty much all iron cookware. Okay, so problem number 1 is seasoning. So Strata needs to be seasoned. It's an iron cookware. You know, I have my 8.5-inch pan here, stainless steel, aluminum in the core, carbon steel on the inside, so it's an iron pan. Iron should be seasoned. Base seasoning is really about keeping it from rusting, and then you build up a nice working seasoning to try to get your pan as non-stick as possible. But seasoning is what people seem to have a problem with, and I've actually even experienced this myself when Strata is new. So I recommend the best seasoning for you to do is to put it in the oven. So an oven seasoning gives you nice, easy, consistent seasoning. You can easily do it on the stovetop too if you know how to do that. But if you're just learning, oven seasoning works really well. But what a lot of people experience, this is an aluminum-based pan, stainless steel aluminum, is that when they first use it, the seasoning looks like it strips off. So it's beautiful golden color. It doesn't look like this pan here. It's a beautiful golden color when it first comes to the oven, and it looks just absolutely spectacular, and you really don't want to use it because it looks so gorgeous. But you do, and all of a sudden it looks like the seasoning just strips off in the first use. What you'll find if that pan is then cleaned and sitting on the counter is that nothing happens to it. It doesn't start to oxidize. It doesn't turn orange or kind of a yellowy color. It's not rusting because the iron is not exposed. The seasoning is totally fine. What it seems like with the Strata cookware for whatever reason is that the aluminum core, I think, creates a little bit of a surface seasoning with the carbonization of whatever oil that is used. And that can just kind of come off quite easily and you can see it. And this probably also happens quite a lot with darker iron pans that you're going to get. But because Strata has such a bright stainless color to it on the inside when it's used, it's very noticeable. But this is absolutely not a problem. It doesn't detract, doesn't do anything. It's not going to create any stickiness. There's no issue. The pan is properly seasoned. What you need to do from this stage forward, if you have this looks like it's peeled off, is keep cooking, keep going forward. Don't be stressed, don't be worried. Just go forward, cook, do the process, and you'll be totally fine. Okay, so problem number 2, and this is a massive problem in cooking with iron. So this isn't really a Strata issue. This is an iron cookware issue. It's a little bit of a Strata issue, and I'll talk about that specifically with Strata, which makes it unique and different. But a lot of people, when they're struggling with trying to get a nonstick or trying to get their iron cookware to work properly, they're overheating. And it may not seem like heat is an issue. It's like, well, I'm using it at like a medium heat. It's like, okay, well, that's probably too hot. Go to a third heat and see how that goes. And that is the win for 99% of people, is to just bring your heat down when you're cooking. And I've talked about this in many different videos, but you know, it just continues to be that issue that people, when they're using iron, heat and iron, you get sticking, or you're gonna get burning, or just get problems with heat. If you underheat, you know, it doesn't turn out great, but it doesn't create the major problems. It's just kind of messy. It just doesn't work as well, but it doesn't create the sticking and the blackening and the carbonization and the problems. So bring your heat down. So Strata specifically, when it comes to heat, Strata is aluminum based. And so the aluminum heats up incredibly quickly and it distributes wonderfully. It's a very effective pan, but it's going to pull the heat into it way faster than your carbon steel or a cast iron pan. So just go so much lighter. Just go easy with heat and you will be successful. Okay, so problem number 3 is a byproduct of problem number 2, but it's a little nuanced because you can be overheating your pan and getting decent results and be somewhat satisfied with how things are happening. You're getting non-stickability and the pan's working decently, but you're starting to get little black bits, or you're starting to get like peeling of the surface, and things are happening to the non-stickability of the pan. It's starting to degrade on you kind of in front of your eyes. So what's happening here is that the pan is a little bit too hot with whatever's being cooked. So whatever type of that same meal that's being done. So say that's like crepes or pancakes or some sort of a searing of meat, or there's something that either the carbohydrate or the fat, whichever, is getting kind of cooked onto the surface over and over again, and slowly that layer is just building and building, and there isn't the proper maintenance, right? So we've got that kind of building of carbonated food, cooked on food, burnt on food, that is slowly just building, and then it becomes obvious, becomes visual over time, and you know, either by things peeling and flaking like I was saying. But the win here is twofold. It is to bring your heat down, and it is to use the right tool. So using chainmail is critically important for cleaning iron, and chainmail and Strata works just beautifully together. So I highly recommend using chainmail when you're using your Strata. So using that properly, showing you right here how this is working on a pan, how to use your chainmail, and just around and around. You can put a little bit of elbow grease into it. If you thin your seasoning out a little bit, it's not a big deal. That's just going to build up. Just make sure you can get the tips of your fingers around the pan, and the pan is feeling pretty smooth. You have no kind of chunks or kind of rough bits. Work away on that if you have that, and just keep it as smooth as you possibly can, and that will eliminate the flaking and the peeling. So in a special deal for Strata people, because I want you to be as successful as you possibly can, I sell a seasoning kit that I sell all over North America. And this comes with two 2-ounce tins of seasoning paste that I make myself. It has beeswax and some seed oils in it, a perfect mixture that I found works incredibly well. There is a chainmail scrubber and a seasoning cloth and some instructions on how to season your cookware. Comes in a kit, and right now you can get 10% off on that kit. If you follow the description here in this video, you'll see a link to where you can buy it, and there is the code that you can input for getting your 10% off. And if you want to buy any other Strata at a deal, follow the link in the description to Strata Cookware, and that link specifically will preload a 10% discount for you for any Strata cookware. So let's recap. First, Strata is making a perfectly good product. Their product is as it's supposed to be. It is a simple product. It's an iron product, aluminum base. It is not a defective or faulty product. It doesn't have like 1 in 50 doesn't work very well. That just doesn't happen with the product. It is very, very, very basic. So I understand if you're having problems, it can seem very frustrating because you're just trying and not getting it. I talk to people about that all the time with all types of iron, not just Strata, but people that just aren't able to get it, and it's super frustrating because these are people that can drive a car and put themselves to bed at night and do all the different things that us as adults can do, and you can't use a piece of cookware. I get it, it's super frustrating. But trust me, it's one little tweak usually of just a little bit of heat in one direction, usually down, and things just dramatically change. So just please don't get frustrated with the cookware because it's not going to get you where you want to be. You're using the cookware because you want to use it effectively. I get that. So please just realize that the cookware is fine and there's something in the method that you're doing that just needs to be tweaked. And like I said, 99% of the time, it's bringing that heat down, right? And then finally, we were talking about carbonization. So just be very, hyper-focused on the feeling of your surface. Get your hands around it when you're cleaning it out. Some people ask if they need to use soap or not. You don't need to use soap, but when you are cleaning your pan under some running water, get your fingertips around there. If it's feeling textured at all, get your chainmail in there. You can use a steel wool too. You can sometimes use like a crushed up tin foil, anything that's not going to be too abrasive, and get in there and just work away on smoothing out that pan to get that carbon built up off of there. So I hope these tips for using Strata and also any other iron that you're using, will go to whatever type of iron cookware you're using, but specifically the Strata. I hope this is successful and that you can use your Strata wonderfully for the rest of your days. Please reach out to Strata if you have any questions. They're a phenomenal team of people and they're willing to help you. They want you to be successful, and so do I. So if you have any other questions, please throw them below and I'll get back to you. Thanks so much.